Alright, this is David with entry number 710. So we're already a tenth of the way to 800, isn't that? Well, no, we're not even a tenth of the way, are we? Yes, we are. We're a tenth of the way to 800, by definition. That's pretty crazy, right? This would have taken almost 3 weeks before we're here. Anyway, it is January 13th, and if you probably can't see it because it's so small, but right at this very moment, it is snowing, very, very small amount. I don't know, I suppose it's because the air's so dry here this winter that we've had very little snow. This is the second time it's snowed, and none of this is gonna stick. It's basically like, no, I won't make that joke because it's really bad, but it's not a lot, and so it's definitely cold enough. Right now I just came out of getting something called kalguksu, and I'm seeing right now that was a big mistake. Damn. This is a barbecue restaurant here, a giant one. You can kind of see it, and they have salangtang for 5,000 won, which is like my favorite meat soup. But anyway, I had kalguksu, which is really cheap. It was only 3,000 won, which is like $250 US. It was a huge portion, like massive, and it was handmade by like old ladies, so that's always good. It was pretty awesome, and getting things like that are kind of like the best part about living in Asia, is that certain things are still like ridiculously cheap if you hunt around a little bit. Generally, things are pretty much, especially in a big city like this, generally things are pretty much the same price as America, but occasionally you can find these like gems or like these weird little things that are like out of time because the people like refuse to pay more for them. There's certain things like in the US, I guess we have them too. Like think about something like a quarter pounder with cheese at McDonald's. Like, how long has that been $1? Like, I don't know, like a long time. Since I was a little kid, and that's like 27 years. It's a freaking long time that a quarter pounder with cheese has stayed at $1. I mean, like, how many other things in this world in America has stayed constant at a constant price like that for 27 years, close to 30 years? I don't know. But in Korea, there's a few things that just won't go up in price or go up very marginally because they are so kind of like ingrained in being cheap cost. And this soup is one of them. I can't imagine it costs more than 50 cents to make, but it's pretty awesome. So if you ever come to Korea, you should try kalguksu. They make another version called gochu kalguksu, which is like a spicy one. It's supposed to be spicy, and both of them are like pretty awesome. Basically just like a very simple broth of like boiled daikon radish and onions, and then they put these hand cut noodles, and that's what kal means knife. And so kalguksu is like hand cut noodles, kind of like tagliatelle, the Italian pasta, except much thicker. In Korea, a lot of the noodles are more thick, like dense, and they're a bit more like dumplings or something, especially because they tend to overcook them a lot, and so they get a little bit gummy, kind of like if you ever had really bad udon in the US. It's kind of like a gummy consistency because they're pre-cooked, or they're just like cooked poorly. But anyway, yeah, my hand now is starting to get cold because it's been about 10 minutes since I've been out of the restaurant, but it was really cool. I got it in what's called a shijang, which is like a old school kind of like wet market, they call them in Asia. Kind of like if you think about kind of idea of what a market looks like in Asia. It looks basically like that. Little vendors on the sides, and you walk down the center, and you kind of like pick stuff out, and you can do like a little haggling or whatever. Basically just like that. It's actually pretty cool. something that I enjoy a lot actually going through there because it is one of the last vestiges of old school Korea. Until, I don't know how long they'll be allowed to exist, but it's completely dependent on the older generation because the younger generation is barely in there, and if they are, they're being dragged by their parents. So, will it have 10 more years? Probably, but will it have 20? Probably not. I'm just about to pass my pho place, which is right up here, my usual joint for pho. It's a weird thing to kind of go without your usual diet of like what I don't know, quote unquote ethnic foods, because you kind of don't think about it. A lot of foreigners I've met complain about like getting cravings, quote unquote, for like certain foods they could only find in the US. I've never really had that problem, just because it's something it's just like not something I have, but there are times when I kind of want something like pho or like bad Chinese food or like fried chicken or something, or hamburgers or Mexican food, and they aren't really cravings per se, but they're just like, oh, I haven't had that in a year, why not go and try it again? And inevitably almost every single one is a very big disappointment here in Korea because they just either don't know how to cook it, or they take shortcuts, or they don't have the right ingredients. So, it's neither here nor there, but it is something that I kind of think about sometimes. Anyway, I don't want to ramble. Like I always say, I don't want to ramble too much, so I'll cut it off here. If I will record tomorrow, and I guess I'll keep recording. This was actually a pretty good experience today. But yeah, that's about it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye.